Hi, Patricia.
Hi.
Welcome. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Excited to talk to you about all things Living Streets Alliance.
Definitely. My role at Living Streets Alliance is Open Streets Coordinator. We all kind of wear a lot of different hats, as you'll probably hear. But the mission of LSA in general is to advocate for a more thriving Tucson by creating better streets for everyone. So that's streets that people feel safe in, that promote mobility, that reflect history and culture, and also like our spaces where community can connect. So that takes a lot of different forms, and we work at the intersection of a lot of different things, and are grateful to have a lot of partners throughout Tucson. Part of the reason why, some of the reasons why LSA exists are recognizing the harm that has been done and that is done in urban planning and transportation planning that doesn't include community input. Also, the imposed car dependence that we all live with, which of course has ramifications in mobility, accessibility, climate change, of course. And really just recognizing that many of our local communities have been facing historic and ongoing disinvestment. So thinking about ways that we can collaborate, collectively vision, and work towards public space and streets that are safer and more usable for all of us.
How did LSA come to be?
Yeah, so LSA came to be long before I have been involved. I joined LSA about a year ago. It came to be, I think, out of a recognition of there not really being many organizations in Tucson that were doing advocacy work specifically around transportation and urban infrastructure. And so I think a group of people who admittedly were involved in other things got together and felt the need to try to do something about it, and it's kind of been guess and check since then. Definitely has grown a lot. We have larger staff now, and we're involved in a lot more different programs, but I think it was just kind of an organic coming together, and you know, a sense of urgency around the amount of injuries and deaths that we do see in our street.
If someone wants to get involved, how would they do that?
Yeah, so you can definitely just show up on the day of. We'll be out there 9 to I think 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Come and volunteer or just come hang out. If you
And
follow.
where is that? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, so it's on 14th and Helen. So if you're familiar with Escare Park,
Mhm.
it's just a couple blocks south of that.
Okay.
We'll also be painting an existing traffic circle in that neighborhood that is just not as pretty as it could be. So you'll see us if you come out on Saturday the 1st.
Okay.
Just drop in, and if you're interested in hearing updates about future projects and being involved in future things, both this and Cyclopia and some other fun events we have coming up, you can follow us on Facebook or all the things. Find our website.
Right.
And we tend to post a lot about calls to action and try to let folks know about it. We also put out yard signs and do mailers and all that stuff.
Excellent. I wonder if we can jump over to Cyclopia, and if you wouldn't mind telling us about that. Now that's going to take place right in the 05 area, and is all community invited? What does that look like?
Yeah, absolutely. So Cyclopia is our biggest event by far. Like I said, it takes place biannually. This is the first time it'll actually be happening in the Thrive in the 05 area, so coinciding with a lot of this other engagement that's been happening. So it's a 4-mile route, and it'll be closed off to cars for the day, and folks are welcome to participate in whatever way they want. So a lot of people walk or skate or just hang out at one of the activity hubs. Many people ride their bikes, of course, and there will be 5 different activity hubs, we call them, and so that's kind of where music and food and all of our community organizations and other fun activities and games and things like that will be concentrated. And yeah, everyone is definitely invited to come out, and that's a really exciting day because in terms of collective visioning, I think it's really powerful to see that visual of people in the streets. And seeing all of this space that normally I feel like we kind of write off just because it belongs to cars, seeing all the amazing things that you can do in that space. So that'll be really fun. It's on October 30th, the day before Halloween, so costumes will be, I'm sure, present. And yeah, lots to do during Cyclopia. There's a public map if you're curious about which food trucks you want to check out or different artists who might be performing. There will be a public map that will go live, so you can check on that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And what time does that start on Saturday the 30th?
Yeah, it's 9 to 3.
9 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it Saturday or
It's
is
Sunday.
it Sunday?
It's
Sunday,
Sunday.
October
Yes.
30th.
Yes.
And 9 to 3 is what you
Yes.
mentioned.
Yeah, so just during the daytime.
Okay, so action at 9 or at noon or at 2.
Yeah. Drop in, however long you want to be there.
I love the fact that you've got a map coming out. Like, that's some serious organization, right?
It is, yeah.
What does that look like? So you mentioned art,
Mm-hmm.
food, music, all of those things will be like all throughout that 4-mile route?
Yeah, essentially. So we work with around 100 different community organizations and some businesses who set stuff up on the route, and their only directive is really make something engaging and fun.
Right.
So it's not just tabling, it's a lot of like really creative things that people come up with. But as I mentioned, there'll be 4 sort of activity hubs. One of them will be in Dunbar Spring neighborhood. One of them will be in Barrio Blue Moon near the traffic circle. One of them will be in Old Pascua. One of them will be in Mansfield Park, in Sugar Hill. And then one of them will be at the Pima Community College downtown campus. And so those have really been adopted by kind of the people who live around them, and they will look really different, reflecting the neighborhood culture and history. And so there's a lot of really varied things going on in this route, which I think is really exciting.
I wonder if you can speak to any needs you might have for volunteers or any kind of call to action for that specifically.
Thank you for bringing this up. We definitely need volunteers. So we have volunteers at every single intersection along the route to make sure that everyone stays safe. So if any cars are approaching the route, they'll have maps and they can reroute folks. So that obviously requires a whole lot of people power. So there's shifts. There's a morning shift, the first 3 hours, or an afternoon shift, the second 3 hours. And you can volunteer. You can sign up on our website, cyclopiatucson.org, and take one of those shifts, and that's a huge help. We definitely still need folks to do that. We also need groups of volunteers, so they take on the larger intersections. There are a few intersections on the route that cars can still pass through, just so we're not trapping anyone, especially because it's kind of a loop. So groups of 6 or more are super helpful with that, so you can adopt your own intersection. A lot of folks have a theme or do other fun things, and it's a nice way to interact with the community too. So definitely need volunteers.
Thank you so much for being here, Patricia. And I wonder if before we sign off, if you could maybe mention how to get in touch or hold of you as an organization if anyone needs or would like to do that.
Yeah, so livingstreetsalliance.org is the main page. There you can find information about all of our different programs and more of the advocacy side of things. Cyclopiatucson.org is where you can find things about Cyclopia. We also have Facebook and Instagram associated with both of those same handles. So that would probably be the best way to stay tuned.
Excellent, excellent. And we're excited to share images and videos of all the good work that is happening with LSA on our ASU Ocher, different handles, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, as well as our ASU Ocher, just different forms of communication that we have out there. And we invite you and all community to just be able to collectively, share the space and amplify voices to serve our community. So thanks again for being here, and have a wonderful week.
Thank you. You as well.